All right, so example 3 in lesson 18 talks about factoring simple trinomials in the form x squared plus bx plus c. So this one can be a little confusing, but it's kind of like a puzzle. So that's why I kind of added this on for you, and we're going to go through it together. Okay, so example 3, it says to prepare for this type of factoring, let's start with some puzzles. I need you to find two numbers that, the first one says that multiply to give us 20, but add to give you 9. So over here, it says here are the multiples of 20. So starting at the first one, we know that 1 times 20 gives you 20, but when you add 1 plus 20, you get 21. Does that give you 9? No, so it's not the one we're looking for. Second one, 2 times 10 gives you 20, but then when you add these up, 2 plus 10 gives you 12. Next, 3. Does 3 times anything give you 20? No, it doesn't divide equally into 20, so we skip it. We don't want to have any decimal and fractions, so don't worry about that one. So next we do 4. So 4 times 5 gives us 20, and when you add these up, that one gives you 9. So our numbers are 4 and 5. So let's do another example of that puzzle. B, it says numbers that multiply to give you 10, but then add to give you 7. So we look at it. 1, I always start with 1 first. So 1 times 10 gives you 10. When you add 1 plus 10, that gives you 11. So it is not 7, so that's not the one we want. So we try the next one. 2. 2 times what gives us 10? Well, 2 times 5. When you add these two up, 2 plus 5, that gives you 7. So, therefore, our two numbers were 2 and 5. So let's go on to the next one. Just to get you more practice. C, it says the numbers that multiply to give you 24, but subtract to give you 5. Okay, so this one's a little bit different. It's going to subtract. The others we were adding, this one we're subtracting. So start with the first one. 1 times 24 gives you 24. But when you subtract these, okay, 24 minus 1 gives you 23. So that is not 5, so it's not the first one. Let's go to the second one. 2 times 12 gives you 24. But when you subtract them, they give you 10. 12 minus 2 gives you 10. So it's not this one because we're looking for 5. 3. 3 times 8 gives us 24. But when you subtract these, it gives you 5. So 8 minus 3 gives you 5. So therefore, this one is the winner. I threw the last one in just to show you. 4 times 6 also gives you 24. But when you subtract these, it gives you 2. 6 minus 4 gives you 2. And that's not 5. So the winner in this case is 3 and 8. All right, so this one, we're just going to look at some of the patterns. So it says we have 4x in a bracket times 4 plus x in one bracket times x plus 5 in the second bracket. So, remember earlier we talked about FOIL. Okay? F stands for first. So in here we had x times x gave me x squared. Then we looked at the outside terms. So we have x times positive 5. X times positive 5 gives us 5x. Okay? Then we have our inside terms. 4 times x gives us 4x. These two were switched around, but it'll give you the same answer. Okay? And then L stands for last. So we have x times 5 sorry guys, I had a brain fart for a second. L stands for last, so what I meant to say was 4 times positive 5 gives you positive 20. Okay, so sorry about that. So now, after we have this line right here, x squared plus 4x plus 5x plus 20, what we need to do is simplify. So if we have 4x's plus 5x's, we can add that up to give us 9x's. So that's why the next line says x squared plus 9x plus 20. Okay? So when you go from this side right here, the bracket times a bracket, and go over here, this is called expanding, okay? We are making it larger and longer, okay? So it's called expanding. When we go from here and work our way back to the double brackets, that is called factoring, okay? So that's what we've been working on this unit. So over here, it says the two numbers multiply to give you 20, okay? So here's our plus 20 right here. Means that the signs are the same. Because it's positive 20, a positive times a positive gives you a positive. Or a negative times a negative gives you a positive. So they both have to be either positive or both negative. So this part right here that says they add to give you positive 9, therefore both of these numbers have to be positives, because positive 4 plus positive 5 gives you positive 9. Okay, so we knew that they had to be either both positive or both negative, but because the answer is positive 9 in the middle, we know that both have to be positive.